Well, I got everything moved around. Getting ready to start in on this. It took me all day to get my workbench and stuff cleaned, as you can see. So where do we start? I say just start yanking and pulling and throwing. Welcome to Broken and Smoking. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go with a front mount oil pan or a front sump oil pan. We'll have to make our own mounts, make our own headers, and I can call up some of their jigs and get a set of headers for LS to fit a Ford, or a Ford LTD anyways. We're not building no Mustang. I think that's been done a few times. Not sure though. This thing has even got the original bag window washer. It ain't worth a flip. She's still on it. And the pump. There's the pump right there. Oh well. Time to take it off too. I bought this new engine stand, and like everything else, it ain't never the same. So I had to go out, get bolts. Of course, you can't find the exact same length, so you gotta space them with, you know, always this stuff right here that slows you down. Always. Got the engine on stand now after we went through everywhere. Had to go find some bolts because this is a new stand. You know, seems like you can't buy something, they all fit. You gotta go find, hunt, scratch, you know, make do, get something to work. Got that done. So we're fixing to have to change this oil pan out because of the car being a rear steer. So we gotta give it clearance so it don't knock out the oil pan. See, most of them's on the front side. This has got that rear steer, I think that's what you call it, behind the crossmember. So we need clearance so we're not crushing the oil pan or busting it. And they got a GTO pan that's pretty cheap and expensive, if that makes sense. They think a lot of these things. So that's the cheap, expensive one from China, you know. You know it'll work. Or you can go spend, just go look them up, you'll know what I mean. This is why you always check your parts. See that down in there? It's got a burr that's about ready to break off. And that could go through your engine. Going over here. Here's my internal baffle tube. I literally got a piece of a sliver out and dropped it. Couldn't find it. But that would have ruined an engine. Right up there is a BB. Right, well, right there. Did I just get it? Yeah, I did. It's right there. See if I can get focus. A slither of metal right there. That would have went through. So always check your parts before you bolt them up. There's another right there. See if that can. Yep, popped right off. I think it went down in there though. So I'm gonna clean these up and blow them out there good. So I took the oil pan off, changed my pickup out. Need to tighten it up still, but I've been wondering what this little Dumatflachi was. Never seen one. And it came to a conclusion with this oil pan that I am now using, front sump, dipstick here, no bueno, nowhere for dipstick to go. So this oil pan, I guess all front ones do, it's got the right here. So I came to the conclusion that that's gonna go right in there and block it off. I don't know if I'm gonna use that or I'm gonna tap and plug it with something else. I ain't made up my mind yet. But for anybody that's doing this swap, for future reference, that's where that's going. At least that's where I think it goes anyways. So when I took this off that bottom end and took a look at it, I realized this needs to be with this oil pan. Because it's a not quite F body, it's some kind of aftermarket with extra room up front there. Real shallow right in here. So I took that off, and this is why I don't ever throw anything away. As you can see, this in here came out of one that broke a crank. Smacked it back, and I trimmed it out. I tell people all the time, don't be scared, just do it. So I trimmed that out to clear the way this oil pan is. So now everything's fitting like it should. So there we go. I didn't have to take another windows tray, a good one per se, and ruin it to cut this out for this pan over here. There you go. And now you can see the difference between a front sump pan and all this room we got for activities to clear all that mess back there now. Bolted up, well, I had this one bolted up, but this is a homemade bracket I'm fixing to build for my motor mounts. It ain't like you can pick up a parts catalog and order a set of motor mounts, put an LS into a Ford LSD. So we got to make them. So this is what I come with when I adapt an LS to a Ford LTD. Simple mount, bolts to the block, welded a nut inside a piece of tubing with the spacing I need, welded it to the plate. And there's what the, right there, well, you can't hardly make it out, but that's, there we go. Go this way. And here we go, getting ready to do the passenger side. This is on the driver's. And oh, even with all this clearance back here for the rear steer, I still had to saw the darn crossmember out. So I'm gonna have to do something for that too. We'll come back and figure that out later. Well, this is what I had to cut out to get this here in here. So we have room for a steering. Brake line, I'll replace that eventually. But I'm wanting to go ahead and connect this over to this. And let's see what we can come up with their own type of cross member. So we're going from that to this. All made out of scrap pieces and laying around, boxed in. This was a piece of a bend that I sawed, slid inside of a piece of tubing. Same thing over here, sawed it, slid it inside a piece of tubing, welded, dirt daubered it, painted it black and called it a day, right? So, it'll do. Next project. Well, got my motor mounts made. They're all bolted in. Got these started. They're not snugged up, but they're started. Or they're snugged up, brother. They're just not tight. Until I get done the transmission mount, or cross member, excuse me. So we got the transmission in place. Got everything squared and centered. So, you know, I work as a machinist, and there's always junk laying around like this that when I spot it, throw it away, I'll pick it up usually, put it in my scrap pile, and it just so happens that those holes line up. What's the odds of that? So guess what? I'm about to go trim this to about right yonder while I finish coming up with my cross member. It's good to come off of that some way. Full frame car. One reason why I decided to go with this. Tucked down there, fully boxed. I mean, its frame on here looks like it's more stouter than a pickup truck. Is that a rust over? Just, it's soft. It ain't all the way through yet, but it's soft. It's got the Ford 9-inch. Well, I'm about to make this cross member. You know how you always got that one tool that you don't know how you got by without it? Here's mine. I just bought this, and I really don't know how I got by without it. It makes life so much easier. No more cutting wheels on a grinder and abrasive wheels, this or that. You stick it in there, measure it. Now, would you do that with an abrasive wheel? I mean, still cool, not a bit of heat in it. That's pretty slick. Now you look up there. I'm not affiliated with these people anyways. I wish I was. But very little burn. I don't know what I'm doing is gonna be right, but it's gonna be precise. Y'all that knows. Use a stare. It'll be precise. But yeah, that right there is something I don't know how it got by so long without. That right there is money well spent. I mean, looks like 1 inch to me. Kind of hard to do it that way, so I'll just do it upside down.